Hello. Sorry to bother you. Can I ask you a slightly odd question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm making a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, where essentially I talk to people I don't know on benches for 10 or 15 minutes. Are you up for that? Do you want to give it a go? Is there a day of the week that you favour?
I think it's got to be Friday, but it comes with trepidation for me. Look forward to it because it's the end of the week, but I lost my wife 3 years ago, so it's hard. Weekends.
It's okay.
So it's hence why I'm sitting in there trying to keep myself occupied.
Well, I can keep you occupied for a bit.
Yeah, do it.
Can I ask why weekends set you off?
Too much time on my hands. You know, yesterday I met a mate and went out riding for 5 hours, and then I haven't seen anyone today. I got dinner at my parents at 6, but I'm probably going to bail. So.
You were riding yesterday, did you say?
Yeah, just on my bike.
A bike with a motor?
No,
or a bike
push
without?
bike. We just did, I don't know, 40 mile, cold beer in the garden and finish and off you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's nice. So today sort of, right, what am I going to do? So let the cat and the tortoise.
Did you say tortoise?
Yeah.
Just casually chuck that in there.
Yeah. No, got
the
the
cat
cat.
for the tortoise. What?
Rico's a tortoise.
Rico the tortoise.
My brother-in-law found him walking up a street, middle of countryside nowhere years ago.
Yeah.
And then my brother-in-law moved to France and he said to me and my wife, John's tortoise. It was called Henry, but we named him Rico because it sounds quicker. They're insanely intelligent. Come out and give him a click and he'll head up and he's gone.
How you click for Rico?
I click and Rico looks up and comes over. A happy tortoise is a climbing tortoise. So I've got a little obstacle course in the garden and yeah, he loves it.
So you've got a big old...
I've got not a massive garden.
You've got a bouldering
but
set up.
Yeah, that's it. He's like Alex Honnold, you know, free solo. He does his own thing. But every day I go home from work, make sure he's not upside down because sometimes he lands and can't turn himself back over. But he's as good as...
They can't right themselves.
Last summer my cat had a big chunk out of his tail because as soon as the cat lays down, the tortoise just climbs all over.
The tortoise climbs on the cat?
Just could get on.
It's just there.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever heard about a kind of cat-tortoise dynamic.
Yeah.
Is there any affection there for either side?
Yeah, because I caught them today having a little cuddle. And you could say in the shade. You know, when they
What
see
do you
me,
mean
they're
cuddle?
all,
What do you
they're all
mean?
fighting and stuff. But Mooncat's just laying there, and Rico's just sort of snuggled in, and yeah,
Genuinely?
Yeah. But it's brilliant. I fly mowed the grass last week, and they're fearless. Just comes bombarding towards the fly mow, and
The tortoise?
Yeah.
They're not fearful of
Nothing.
anything?
No.
Is that because they can live so long?
Yeah, they're perfect specimen. How long have they been on the planet for? Like a million years, and they've reached their maximum. I don't need to evolve
Do they live
anymore.
to like 150 or something?
The oldest one is, I think, it's 189 or something like that.
Crazy.
I think it was born the same year as Queen Victoria or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. And
Yeah?
there was one I saw last week. I'm a bit of, tortoise thing. You look up online, it just pops up on your
For
news
sure.
feed. And there's one I saw the other day that this tortoise is a male tortoise, 159 years old, just had a baby, so now they realise he's not a male. So it's like...
They can breed at 159?
Yeah.
Imagine that, the first baby.
Yeah. I don't know
You
how
got a bit
good
used to
parent
life.
is. Yeah, that's it. They're like
You'll get the
students.
call.
Yeah. They're like, I said to them, they're the perfect pet because they're up for 6 months a year, then they go to sleep. I put him to bed I always put him October 21st, that's my wife's birthday, so I put him to bed then and get him up in about the middle of April. Sleeps in a wine box in the shed.
Okay, let's rewind a minute. You put him to bed.
Yeah.
How do you decide today's the day? Do you know what I
Because
mean?
he slows up, they don't eat for a while.
Okay.
And all they do is drink,
Yeah.
fluid on, and then they empty themselves out, so they don't, And then you weigh them and you measure them, and then you should do that once a month, I think, just to make sure they're not dehydrating whilst they're hibernating. If they do, take them to a vet. And then they just slow up, and you think, now's the time. You just got to think, I've seen you move much,
And then how do you know when the rising happens?
because I can hear him moving around. So I go in the shed and you can hear him banging about. Or I have to have like dumbbell weights on top of the box because they push out. So when you kind of go in there, you hear a bit of banging, you think, yeah, time to come up. And then he'll come out and...
Does he get a special treat, when he's released? Is it a kind of big moment?
It's straight in the water, really. I've got a little... It's like a lid of a container, like you put books into storage or something. One of them full up with water, and it's like a little swimming pool. So I put him in there, and drinks that up, and they can drink through their anus.
Whoa. Okay.
It might, yeah.
Wow.
So I've been told. I've tried it. It doesn't work. But yeah, they do that, and
Wow.
then it's just like crack on.
Can you describe the joy that the tortoise brings you?
It's a link to I lost my wife, say 3 years ago this year, and it's sort of a link to her as well.
What did she
very
think
much.
of the tortoise?
Loved it. Could sit in the garden and it's just hours of fun. Everyone that comes around is like, oh my God, I didn't know a tortoise was like that. They don't know, you think, I'll be long gone and he'll be not even halfway through his life.
Still in his youth, still in his prime.
Yeah.
You mentioned October 21st in relation to your wife. What date?
That's my wife's birthday.
How do you choose to mark that day since she's died?
Do you know, when she first passed, every opportunity I had or anniversary, I'd go to the next bay along, because we got married just 50 metres from the beach and have a little place there. And I'd chuck a rose in the water and I'd see it go and it'd break my heart. So I thought, what am I doing that for? My wife would be like, you're an idiot, what are you doing? She died in September, and so her 47th birthday was a matter of a month after. So I was doing all the wedding anniversary, the birthday, Christmas, going down there and doing it, and getting up at 5 in the morning and blah, 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 and then thinking, it's just killing me. It's just so tough. So now I just, appreciate her in other ways. I'm understanding grief a bit more, that I can still smile, I can still laugh and not feel guilty, but that's taken me a while to realise. And I still get caught, as you saw at the beginning, It's horrendous.
When you say you feel guilty, what do you mean?
Of laughing, enjoying life. And should I be mourning? Should I just be sad? But Donna would be like, what are you doing?
Surely you want you to be as happy as possible.
Absolutely.
The more laughter, the better.
Absolutely. But it's hard. Everyone gives great advice, but not many people lost their wives.
Yeah.
And time's a great healer. Yeah, fuck off.
Do you mind if I ask a few questions about her?
Yes, again, love to.
What's she like?
Amazing. Just lovely. Just the nicest person. Just first person I ever loved. Together 25 years. Give me freedom to do as well what I wanted to or needed to. I did karate and I travelled the world doing that, bits and places, and I got a job in Australia, and she said, yeah, off you go. I'll come over and see how that goes. And then towards the end, she was diabetic, and she got sepsis, that's what killed her. She had her legs amputated. Just kept going. Inspirational. And it's just a massive loss, massive. So I'm here now, trying to keep myself occupied, so I'm trying to draw. And it's crap.
Crap drawing.
Crap drawing. When my wife died, I used to come down here walking in the winter and smoke a cigar. Never smoked cigars.
Oh, really? You just started that after she died?
Because I could.
You just do anything?
It's disgusting.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Is there a sense that when someone so close to you dies like that, and it's so obviously, devastating and everything, is there a sense that you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to just do anything?
Yeah. I did karate for 35 years. Had a club in town. classes 4 days a week, my life, and stop now. Don't want to do it.
Really?
Because that's for everyone else. I need time for me now.
That's
And it was also very much my take a breath, escape. If I'm doing that, I'm not thinking of hospital and dialysis and what have you. So it sort of, it does, gives you that freedom to do. I never went home for 8 years, 9 years, straight from work to either dialysis or straight to karate. So coming home and sitting in the garden at 6 o'clock is like, wow, this is what people do. It's just, it's kind of nice to do nothing. It's a skill.
But it's kind of nice to do nothing, but you said earlier that it can cause you pain to not fill your time. So how do you balance that out?
It's nice to do nothing sometimes, but at the same time, that's why I'm out now. I'm sort of just trying to fill the time until 6 o'clock and I go for dinner. I even went to work today to clean the swimming pool just to sort of keep yourself busy, and because your mind just, and going out's difficult because look, everyone's with their wives and girlfriends and kids. We didn't have children. Oh yeah, everyone's rubbing my nose in it, but they're not. I know they're not.
Yeah. Do you think about it every time you see someone?
I think about it every minute.
Really?
Yeah, it's all consuming for me, And it is a friend of mine, his wife died 2 months after Donna. And he's dating and everything and da-da-da. Me, I still got my wife's wedding ring on. I had our bands put together. I'm still in love.
Of course.
And it's...
What do people say to you about that? I mean, do people encourage you to date again?
No, not really. No, they haven't. Some, like my people, I work for a wealthy Russian family, and the kids are 6 children. I've been there like 11 years. Youngest is now 19, so they've been with me for years.
Do you say you work with a Russian family?
Yeah.
That's intriguing. Okay.
But
what do you do with this Russian family? Karate?
Everything. No, I run their estate and
Oh, I
everything else.
see.
So driver and PA, and like today I check on the swimming pool, make sure that's tidy for them when they get home tomorrow, and whatever. So it's the girls are like, you get out there, get dating, and Donna would love it, and blah blah blah. But it's sort of, when I'm ready, no rush.
Of course. What would you do together? What small things did you do together which you go back to?
I would just try and make her laugh all the time.
What was your hit rate?
Bloody good. And the thing is, I've got loads of videos of it, so it's even better.
Do you watch them still?
Yeah,
Or is it
I
difficult?
do, because I hear her voice, and all of that, and that's lovely. But particularly when Donna lost her legs, you're limited to what you can do. So the simple things are great. We'd go for a nice drive, go down these lovely lanes, and just we get to a junction. Donna would choose that. If we go left, right, or over, next junction I choose, and we just go anywhere. It's just me and her and me, and the beauty of just doing nothing. It's lovely.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Go where we go.
Yeah.
What can I ask about her? So she had diabetes?
She's diabetic, yeah. She got diabetes when she was 10.
So type 1?
Type 1, yeah.
And she just struggled with it?
Wasn't particularly medically well looked after. 35 years ago, diabetic care is so very different from now.
Yeah. She was 10, you think?
She was 10 when she got it, yeah.
It's really tough.
And at that age, you want to be like everyone else. I want to go out, I want to eat. When you're a teenager and alcohol comes into your life and you're going out clubbing and drinking, it's like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, but you can't, you're diabetic. Not saying she abused herself in that way, but it's a balance,
Of course.
Education wasn't there for it.
Yeah. You know who else has type 1 diabetes?
Who? Have you? Don't let me scare you.
Don't worry, it's okay.
But you're doing all right with it?
Fine, yeah.
Good.
Immensely lucky. Just as you say, diabetes management now.
Yeah.
I got it 4 years ago, so
Did you?
compared to
Yeah.
chalk and
Stick a thing
cheese.
on the back of your arm, download the app, and you're
Yeah.
kind of a little bit further on the way.
So look,
There you go.
I've got blood sugars on my wrist.
Yeah.
And you're so much more aware of everything.
Absolutely.
And I just honestly, it's so brutal timing of things. But then, that said, also you could say, if it was 100 years ago, then myself and your wife would just died within a month. So it's like it's kind of it's all comparative, I suppose.
Absolutely, of course it is. I had a friend in New Zealand, and they said to me that they were talking to there's a Maori chief, and they said that in Maori culture, they said you have 12 lives, and Donna's used one of them, and a part of her life was to meet me to get to the age of 46, but she needed me to be in her life to get to that point. And it's like, I'm not religious, but I have a little bit of woo-woo now. I quite like it. Yeah, I like it, you know. I believe that I'll see her again. And again, someone said you're going from A to B, but you've just taken a different route and you'll meet your B at another time. It's like, yeah, I like that.
I like that
you know,
too.
go the wide way around.
Yeah.
You know? And because she died in my arms, you know, and they said, we're going to turn life support off in about 20 minutes. I was like, I don't think so, man. Her heart's strong as an ox. So they did that, and we were all in the embrace position, me, my parents and my mother-in-law, and 10 minutes, 20 minutes, hour and a half, back's aching, my dad needs a wee, you know. And the nurse came in, yeah, everyone relax, she ain't going nowhere, you know. And she lasted 12 hours. And I had the last sort of 3 hours of it on my own in the nurse. And it was the most horrendous thing, but the most beautiful, you know. And
what did you tell her?
oh, everything. Everything, just that it just made my life, you know. And yeah, just little. We used to have little nicknames for each other, and I'd say them again and whatever. But I asked her to haunt me, and a friend of mine went, "Oh my God, what'd you do that for? She's gonna just, you know, torment you," because that was her character. I've had some crazy things go on. Big emotional days and big cracks of energy. She never met my grandfather, and I said, "You'll meet my granddad, he'll absolutely adore you." And I said, he used to like to dance, Donna used to like to dance. And I said, you'll meet him. And I know you've met him because I'll hear a crack of thunder. And on Donna's memory of my parents' life, that next day after Don passed, I'm in the front room. And nice day, and there's just this almighty crack of thunder happened. Just one, massive, bang, rumbled on. And hey, you found him, good, you're there. And relax, you know. It's nuts, man. Some people just like that of bollocks. But you hold on to things because it eases your heart, you know.
I mean, I don't think it's a load of bollocks.
No, good, thank you. But it's nice, it's very comforting.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And you know, who's to say what anything is?
No,
I mean,
that's
you know, if you feel it, you feel it.
Yeah,
You know,
I
that's
think
the
that's
most
what
important
faith
thing.
is, isn't it? And religion and all that. My people, I work for a Russian Orthodox, I'm very religious. And the kids would say to me, how is it you're so nice that you don't believe in God? You know, when they were younger, I'm like, yeah, good parents, you know, I know the right from wrong. If you don't believe in heaven and hell, it's you do the right thing because it's just nice, you know.
What do you think that people who haven't been through what you've been through are kind of not aware of? You know, what do you think is invisible about what you've been through?
Utter loss, and they think that you can just, come on, take a deep breath, come on. I had a guy, he was a friend, he ain't no more. I've lost a lot of friends.
Really?
A hell of a lot.
Really?
Yeah. The ones yeah. Because people don't know how to deal with it, or they weren't your friends in the first place. You just, you know. My oldest friends have been spot on. It's the new one within the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And it hurts because you think, oh, right, okay.
Is it that they just switch off? They just don't contact you? What do they do wrong?
Don't contact you. And then if you don't contact them back because you're crying, you're depressed, you don't want to pick the phone up, it's take it personally. I got invited out for dinner many times, but I found it difficult going out for dinner with opposite a friend and a partner, and then me with an empty chair next to me. The empty chairs because, oh yeah, I'm only here because Don's here, you know. But they don't get it. And that's how, I've even thought about, I write a book, and I only have about 3 pages in it. The key things, and someone died, do this, don't do this.
So what's in this book then? The 3 pages?
4 pages.
4 pages, even better.
Don't be a twat.
Repeated each page, or just don't be
No,
a
don't
twat?
turn it to be a twat.
Do you think people are just worried about saying the wrong thing?
I think so.
You know, but in a way, it's all wrong. I mean, it's all wrong. It's a
yeah,
wrong.
There's no rule book
the
to it.
whole-
I'd rather have the wrong thing said,
Yeah.
and then them learning from it.
Yeah.
I've said the wrong thing. You always do. It's part of life.
Do you have things in the house that remind you? I'm guessing everything reminds you of her. But
Yeah.
do you keep in particular things? You know, objects.
I started to put lots of photos up. And my dad went, well, you've got quite a lot of photos up. You know, is that a good thing? You know, that's all I got. You know, I've got a beautiful picture I took of her in the Caribbean on the beach, and it's by my front door, and every time I go in and out, I kiss it and do that every time. And I walked in the other day and I took a photo of it.
Photo of the photo.
Photo of the photo, because my face was in the reflection, the sun was
yes.
coming. It's beautiful. Can I show you?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
And it just made me happy. Oh God, that's our first photo we've had together in ages. You know? Let me show you. Hang on, he's here somewhere. There you go.
Oh,
so I just came in the front door and the light's coming in and it reflected and saw me.
Oh, I can see what you've done there.
Just right time, you know, right place.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so the thing is I get down the path and then I've got to go back. If I don't say, love ya, no, walk the door. So I've got to go back.
Go back.
Love ya. Rub Buddha's belly and out the door, you know. Some of it's, I don't know, I've never said this, but it's quite exciting because I can blank canvas, do what you want.
Yeah.
I like my cycling and stuff, so I was looking at a thing called a rat race yesterday from across Chile. Can't do that.
You should
know,
do
got
it.
the money to do it. I want to do a big ride as a fundraiser.
Yeah. I would say do it all.
Yeah,
it
that's
done.
right. Yeah.
I think there's so much release through action.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a
I'll
good
tell you one
feeling.
thing I do. I host international cyclists. They stay with me. I've read a lot of cycle touring books, and
Fun.
yeah, nerd.
How many are there?
Oh man, there's
A lot.
thousands. I spent £150 on a book the other day on Oxfam site. I might have been a little bit drunk.
One book for £150.
Yeah.
God, what was it? What was
It's
it?
an 1887 first edition.
Oh, I see. 1887. That's
of
right.
the first guy to circumnavigate the world on a bike.
Wow.
Took him 4 years and he did it on a penny farthing.
Amazing.
English guy, obviously.
Yeah, classic.
But in these
It's,
touring books,
Yeah.
the general consensus is Iranian people are the nicest people in the world.
Yeah.
They always want to know what the world thinks of their country.
Yeah.
You know, and you knock at their door, you're a gift from their God. They've been chosen to host you, la la la.
Yeah.
And there's this group called Warm Showers. It sounds horrendous. It's a wrong name for it. Everyone looks at me like, beg your pardon, what do you do? It's not that. But it's an American thing, and
Yeah.
you £30 lifetime membership. And people touring, they just email you, oh, can I stay with you on that date? Yeah, no worries. You can either give them a tent space in the garden and a hose pipe. I go full Monty, it's like the greatest Airbnb ever. It's beer, wine, salad, starters, desserts.
Amazing.
Oh, it's great.
And that is international cyclists.
International cyclists, yeah. Lots of Belgians, lots of Dutch and Germans.
all in the gear.
All in the gear, a lot of them are touring.
Do they ever take it off? Or it was gear the whole
Oh
time.
man, sometimes they stay for 2 or 3 days if they're knackered.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, crack on, there's the key, I'm going to work. And
It's very sweet of you.
I had a lot of people say, yeah, but what if they nick off you? Well, I doubt if this bloke's going to ride 3 months from southern Portugal to steal something off my, shelf. If they do, they do. Because for me, it's a bit of company.
Yeah.
My reviews are the best.
I bet
I should
they
be
are.
like an
I bet
Airbnb.
they
Oh, it's
are.
great, man. I've got 5 lads staying with me next week. 5. I haven't had 5 yet. And one of them's have to have halal food and all of that. Yeah, whatever. Speak to them. 17-year-olds are doing a charity ride. Can we stay at your house? Yeah, no swear. It's great. It's lovely. Such a nice thing.
Oh, it's a
It's a
wonderful
nice
thing
thing
for you
to do. Yeah, I get so much out of it.
Bet.
Yeah. Warm Showers. It's the worst name ever.
Well, it is a bad name.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about what's it like working for a big family. You must have seen everyone grow up, and it's what's it- and-
They're my surrogate children. 3 girls, 3 boys. Youngest is 19. I had him when he was 7 or 8. So every day you build a relationship. They
Yeah.
private school locally, so you're driving them to school and.
in a bit of a wagon, I guess. Right?
Yeah, big old car. Drop them off at 3 different private schools and stuff. But
Oh, it's 3 different ones.
Yeah, but they come up and see my parents. I've got a party next month because delayed birthday party, and they're all coming. And yeah, I love them dearly. I speak to them every day. Even the girls who are away at uni or working every day.
Amazing. What I mean, so what are you to them? What do they?
They
what's
called
that
me
role?
a few years ago. They called me their gay uncle dad. One, I'm not gay, and I'm not their uncle, and I'm not their dad. But that's how they named me. I'm like,
That's
yeah,
very
okay,
funny.
yeah, it's great.
Part of the furniture.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
What do you think of the parents of the children? It's quite a rare thing to have someone come
Yeah.
and be such a big part of these.
Yeah.
And as a kind of substitute.
Yeah, they're used to it. With Russians, are very, very different than us. I've got used to them. I think I've changed their outlook on stuff slightly as
Interesting.
well.
In what way?
Not everyone's out to get you. Some people are nice because they're just nice and don't want anything.
Yeah.
Russian mindset is they don't do small talk, they don't show emotion. If you show emotion, you're weak. if you don't drink, you're not a proper man, all of that stuff, you know. First time I met them, they had a house in Malibu, so I'd met them in Heathrow. So it was like the Von Trapps, so kids went in different heights. There was mum, dad, I think 2 nannies, grandparents. And they kind of looked at me just like, it's just staff, they've had staff all their life. 6 kids, used to have 7 nannies when they lived in Moscow. The youngest had 2, and all armed, different world, you know. And I'm driving out of Heathrow thinking, don't get lost, don't crash the 80 grand car. So I got my boss man next to me, mother behind me, and the oldest son next to me, and I'm talking to my employer, and the boss lady behind me says, I have a question. Yes. She said, why are you ginger? Why? So I went, well, I knew my first day on the job today meeting you. I dyed my hair last night to make it look good, and it went wrong and came out like this, straight over the head. I thought it was hilarious.
It's a good one. I'm quite brave as well.
I know. I was quite relaxed. And then the old man looked at her and said, and she went, no, I mean, you've got Irish or Scottish heritage. I went, nah, just the ginger. Okay. The gingers in Russia are quite a rare thing, so it's just like, it's the first time she ever spoke to me. Why are you ginger? But yeah, over the years I've been the son of the devil because I don't believe in Christ, all sorts of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm like that now, yeah, whatever, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
They're giving you a little bit of a hard time here and there, but they always loved you.
Yeah. They've always been very, very good. And particularly I had free reign when Donna was dialysis 3 days a week. I just went, do what you need to do, you know.
Have you ever had points of clash with them? Obviously, like, you know, you're in their house. There must be some kind of moments where you didn't see eye to eye.
The youngest, he's 19, he's taller than me now. It's his biggest achievement so far.
Being taller than you?
Yeah, getting bigger, he wants the gym. I've done karate for 35 years and he wants a fight. He's wanted to fight since he was 13. So now he's done his A-levels, we're having a fight next month. In the tennis court, I'm like, bring it on. Teach him a lesson.
What does he think did happen?
I said to him, where's this come from? Where's your skills? Oh, Dad showed me. Shut up. So it's like, well, Mum and Dad are like, okay.
35 years of karate's quite a long time.
Yeah, starting when I was a kid, and
what has it meant to you over the years?
just everything, just fantastic. But then, when Don passed, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
And now you just don't do it at all?
No.
So is that, I don't know, just intrigued by that, as a, you know, does it pop into your head? Do you think about it? Do you go, well, what was that 35 years? I mean, you know, kind of, do you regret any of it?
No, not at all. You know, first time I went to New York, we had an international tournament in New York in '96, things in Japan, things in Australia, and I wouldn't have done any of that, you know. And the people I associate with, you know, doctors, accountants, they're not my crowd, but they're still great mates, you know, and you've been through it forever, you know, weddings and that. Yeah, it's lovely. They came to Don's funeral, you know, it's just like, wow, what a bunch, you know.
What are the lessons that kind of that karate has taught you?
It's the discipline of it. No matter what it is, you could be learning an instrument. You know, everything takes time. You know, there's no shortcut. Yeah, it's commitment, dedication, and the kind of live to fight another day thing as well. But at the same time, when to react. You know, what they say, better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You know, you just got to be smart. But it's a wonderful thing to learn.
So, how many times have you used karate outside of karate?
Physically twice.
Can you tell me about those times?
Both when Donna was in A&E one time.
Oh, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
What, not the doctors?
Well, no. I went, can you get me something to eat, baby? Yeah, no worries. So I went to McDonald's and there was a big bouncer dude in there. And I got my food, came out, yeah, in here. And I went out in the high street and he was separating a fight and these blokes were pummeling into him. And I thought, that's not fair. And I had my Big Mac meal, my drink in one end, and I pulled a guy off. And I thought, what have you done? It's not your fight. But it wasn't, the numbers weren't fight, it was an unfair fight. So he was...
So what are the numbers though?
There was 3 guys, it was a race hate crime. The black kid was getting beaten up. So the bouncer came out to separate it, and another 2 guys were piling on the bouncer. Well, let's make it even. So I pulled him off. And then, come on, Ned. You know, they turned into a English football fan. He came at me, his brother was there as well, and I just kicked him straight in the stomach like a front kick. And he just rolled up and rolled in the ball and went backwards and just laid on the floor like, and then you up it. And then my language gets more aggressive, and you know, F and C's and all this. I have to put the food down, like, Tanya. They're bullies. And then they realise they can't win that one. They're, you know, and they're walking backwards, giving it the big holy stomach. And I went over to the 2 lads who got beaten up. They were students from Canterbury University. And they said, we're going to go and get a knife, we're going to do him and all this. I'm like, well, come on with me. De-escalation. Walked away, look, I said, we're doing uni? Yeah, we're studying, They're only young. Thanks, man, all this. I went back to the thing. Don was like, where you been? You know, McDonald's was cold, so I got it in the ear. And then 10 minutes later, I went to look, came around the corner, and those 2 lads who got beaten up, the 2 black kids, they were sitting in A&E because they'd been pretty duffed up. And they were like, it's that bloke, fucking hell, it's that bloke, like guardian angel. And I was like, Donna, look, it did happen. She's like, fuck off. But at the same time, it could have gone completely wrong.
Yeah.
Because one of them could have pulled out a knife. I was lucky.
Tell me about, so one thing I didn't touch on earlier, which I meant to ask. You talked about maybe wanting kids but not having them.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about that? If it's not too tricky.
No, sure. Yeah, it was never a thing that Donna and I thought, right, let's try for children. We kind of had the inclination that we wouldn't be able to have them. Then we were quite young, and the NHS gave us 2 loads of IVF for free, which was a lot of money. We were good to go with that, and then we decided to say no and give it to someone else.
Really?
Like, yeah, Donna said it wouldn't be right.
Why not?
Because she said it wouldn't be fair. I might not be here in the future, so let's give that opportunity of IVF for someone else. And it was the elephant in the room that we didn't speak about for years and years and years, you know.
After or before?
After. We never had that conversation of, should try for a child. Just didn't have it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that didn't need to. You know, you're kind of dragging something up and you don't need to do it, you know. But we had so much going on that it wasn't a thing of we weren't pining for it, you know. And then maybe we were, but we never discussed it, you know. But there's the only time now since Don's gone I wish I had kids, because I'd have something to put my focus on.
Yeah.
But
Can I say something?
yeah,
Obviously, it seems it's a million miles off, but you know, there's a chance you can still do it.
no, absolutely.
I mean, it's obviously such a big thought,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
you have so much love to give,
Yeah,
and you already give it.
Yeah.
And obviously that gives you so much
Yeah.
to yourself.
yeah.
That it feels like you can do it.
Yeah. No, I can. Even like my girls at work have said, you know, now's time. You're going to foster. You're gonna,
you do it in any kind of way.
Yeah, but I'm like, no. I want this time for me now. And the warm showers is good. The Russian kids are always going to be there. You know, they'll have kids one day hopefully, and I'll be great uncle, gay uncle, dad.
great
Great
uncle, gay dad.
But it's sort of,
Brilliant.
I don't feel I
Yeah.
want that. I almost want to be selfish and have just me. That's a freedom that I haven't had for before, and it's sort of got to get used to it, you know.
Well, so you've got lots of time for anything to change if it
Yeah,
changes.
that's right,
I mean,
yeah.
It's just, you know,
I'm a young
You're
50.
young.
Yeah, I'm a young
you're
50.
fresh. What did that mean to you to be 50 out of interest?
Fucking hell.
You were like, how did this happen?
Yes, yeah, because I've got a lot of momentous things I did in my life. 95, I went to Portugal for 6 months with my mate. I went to New York first, and then I went to Australia first, and then I went back to Australia, then we moved to Cornwall, then we split up, then we got back together. Then
Why'd you split up?
because Dawn was in Spain on holiday, and she phoned me up, and she said, I love you, but I don't know if I love you because you look after me and you give me everything like that. Broke my heart. But I thought, wow, how brave's that? Because she needs to find out rather than just string me along. We were living together and everything, so I had a mate living in Newquay at the time, so I phoned him up. Can I come down? So I stayed there 6 months. We got together after about 3 months again, got back together. She realised, yeah, I do love you, and it is the right thing. I'm not doing it because, you know, you are a nice guy. I'm doing it because I love you. And I thought, that's immense. And yeah, we got together. We moved to Cornwall for 10 years and had a lovely time there. Best 10 years down there. Mega.
I do get an incredible sense that she's so in you.
Oh, man. She's immense as in her compassion, her understanding for everyone else. I used to think I'm the son of a copper, so beggars and druggies, bloody scumbag. She's like, no, they're self-medicating. Do you not know what it is? And taught me so much of that kind of stuff rather than everyone's a scumbag and a scrote. Yeah, totally solid.
I could see why you know, you still wear the ring. You know what I mean? As in, I can see, you know, it's kind of really clear that.
This was. I got this done when Don passed. We always said if anything does happen, we get our wedding rings and we're melted down into one. And I went to a jeweller just basically street down there. And I walked in there. It was about 3 days after Don passed. Got a bit emotional. And he went, "Take your time. You know, you could sense it." And I said to him, "I've just lost my wife." And I said, "I want to do something with the rings." "Yeah, all right, no worries." So he said, "They're nice rings." He said, "I could melt them down." He said, "Which is a nice idea." But he said, "You'll lose Donna's ring." And he said, "Why don't I just put them together?" I never even thought of that. I went, yeah, okay, do that. And I was in there talking to him and crying my eyes out and hugging him. Never met him for about an hour and a half. And he emailed me that next day and he said, "Pick your ring up this evening." He said, "Won't charge her." He said, "It's a gift for me to you."
So sweet.
Just like, what the fuck, it's amazing.
It's wonderful.
And that was early days. I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be all right. And he was like, "Donna sounds great." It's like, yeah, man, you know. But yeah.
I know, you talk wonderfully about her. And
Yeah, I'm very proud of her.
And you feel it so strongly.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you're doing a wonderful job of keeping her alive.
Yeah, that's the
Which I suppose
legacy.
is your big, which is
Yeah,
your big,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
your main job.
Yeah, it is. When I went out for dinner Friday night with some friends, my friends talk about her and drop her name all the time. People say, "No, I don't remember when we did this with Don." And it's like, and I text her, "No, it's so lovely hearing my wife's name." And she's like, "Hey, I thought you'd like that." And it's like, yeah, she exists still. It's lovely. She's not gone to me.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that proximity to someone dying, has it made you think about your own mortality more?
Yeah.
Everything.
I
You
used
tell
to
me.
be a little bit scared of death. I don't care now.
Really?
I want to have a long life. I mean, no rush to see Donna because she would say, "What are you doing?" She would be furious if I did anything stupid. And she'd be like, "You had this opportunity to live and you fucked it up and I've seen you too soon, you absolute twat," you know. So it's sort of, I'm going to look after myself.
Yeah. What age do you think you'd have to be to not get a bollocking?
80.
80. You got something to aim
I've got
for.
a way to go yet. And I had a dream the other day, and Dawn was late 20s, we were in Cornwall, I knew the outfit she was wearing, she had a pair of jeans on, slip-on shoes, and I woke up and I had butterflies, because I'd still see a lot of poorly Donna, not of young, fit Donna. And that's the first time I'd seen her young and fit and looking good, and I had little butterflies in my belly, and it was like, oh my God, I ain't had them in years. And it was like, wow.
Having lost your wife, what would you say to anyone who is in a long-term relationship and everyone is healthy? What would you say to them?
Good question. Enjoy this. It's all you've got. It's so precious, and I've lost, and I know how precious it is. So it's cliched and cheesy, but it's fucking 100% true. Don't take it too seriously. It's not all money, work, and all that crap. It's about sitting on a bench talking to a stranger, doing crap drawings of peers. So glad you stopped and
I'm really glad I stopped you.
ruined my art project. No, because I thought, what's this guy? I straight away thought, oh no, he wants to look at my book.
The fear, someone's looking at my books.
Someone wants to look at it.
I like that. I like the idea now that that sketch, you know, obviously
It's got significance,
you
different
can
reason now.
you stopped in time.
Yeah,
you know? I was
that's it. I
stopped.
might just leave it. I go
And then
back,
you look at it in the future, like, oh yeah, that's how I was halfway through that, and
I'll
this guy
add to it
stopped
and
me.
say, oh, it was so much better. But this bloke stopped me.
Love it. Okay, last question for you.
Yeah.
Either answer this in a now way, or a general way, or both. What are you going to do next?
Look at my watch, it's 5:25. I've got to be at my parents' for dinner at 6. And I was going to bail out and not go because I was quite down. But I'm going to go out there and see them and have dinner. So you've picked me up and this has been very cathartic. You've improved my day massively, so thank you again.
Very kind of you to say that, and I've enjoyed
Thank
talking
you.
to you
It's
so
an
much.
honour. Pleasure. Yeah, it's unique. You keep it up.
Thank you.
started drawing, but I know it's not great. Someone walks by and I hide it away. It's for me right now. It's just me right now. 35 years a karate master. Fought real hard, but now I fight faster to find me right now. It's just me right now. 'Cause on the hard days when my heart breaks, the sound of thunder lets me know you're there. When friends tell stories, I see you there. When I turn 80, I'll be right there. I've started riding, gonna do a rat race. In your name, put a smile on my face. It's for me right now. It's just me